Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bob Johnson's Computer Stuff Inc. We are the Toughbook experts and leading refurbishers for Panasonic Toughbooks. I am Sally, your host, and I am excited today to show you how to replace the antennas on your Panasonic Toughbook CF-30 located underneath the rear cabinet. So we're not going to waste any time, we're going to get right into it, and hopefully this tutorial will be of some assistance to you, and if it is, don't forget to hit the like button. Okay, so first things first, what you need to do is that you need to remove the rear cabinet. You do this by removing the screws on the top cover. I will mark them with red circles so that way you will be able to identify where they are. And we are going to remove the screws. I'm going to use a small Phillips head to do this. We're just removing the screws at this point, so that way we can remove the rear cabinet. This would be a good opportunity to clean the screws as well. Just working our way around the top cover. Excuse me, rear cabinet. I find the more you practice with removing the screws, the easier it gets. There we go, we've moved all the smaller screws. Now for the bigger screws. There's really just two screws that really have to be removed. And there you go, you've removed all the screws for the top. Now we're going to remove the screws for the hinges. You will already see this Toughbook has been open prior, so you can tell that it's already been there's been some changes made to the LCD. I'll just state that yours may have an adhesive or sticky tape of some type along the edges, which you would need to break in order to open up the LCD. There you go. We removed all the screws for the top. Now we're going to remove the screws for the hinges. So you just want to flip your Toughbook open like this. Now we're just going to remove the keyboard bezel. To remove for the keyboard bezel. And there you have it. All screws have been removed for the keyboard bezel. Now you just lift the keyboard bezel out of place. I like to lift from the middle. There you go. We've removed the keyboard bezel. We're going to peel back the keyboard. Next, what we have to do is that we have to disconnect the LCD cables underneath the LCD cable cover. You want to zoom in so that way you get a better look. Okay, now we're going to remove the LCD cable cover. But we're actually going to start with the hinge cover here. So we're going to first unscrew this hinge cover. We're at it, we might as well unscrew the other hinge cover on the other side as well. Okay, now we're unscrewing the other hinge cover on the other side. Keep in mind we still have to remove the screws on the back. Now at this point I'm going to unscrew the two remaining screws for the LCD cable cover. Okay, now we're going to remove the two screws on the back for the hinges. Now to remove the screws on the back for the hinges, we're going to have to lift the computer up. Handle facing down. Back screws for the back hinges. There goes one. There goes two. Now at this point we're going to lay down the computer back flat. and open it back up. And now at this point we can remove the hinge covers. Now at this point we're going to be removing the LCD cable cover. We're going to disconnect the two LCD cables. There goes one, and the second one. There you go. Next up, we're going to have to remove the hinges. There are two screws which hold each hinge in place. We're going to have to unscrew all four of them. Okay? So I'm going to zoom in. Okay, now we're going to remove the two hinges, starting with the first one. Now for the next hinge, now we are going to unscrew the second hinge. There, removed all four screws for the hinges. And at this point you can close your computer up like so. And then you can also remove these two screws. Now we're working on the second one. And there goes the second one. Now, I suggest you lay it back flat at this point, and you should be able to remove the LCD screen, like so. Now you see that we separated the monitor from the actual main body. Now we can actually lift the LCD from the monitor and the body. Now that we've removed the LCD monitor, we're going to go and remove the antennas left and right from the CF-30. First, what we need to do is that we need to open up the keyboard cable cover. I'll zoom in so you can get a better look. Now we're going to remove the screws for the keyboard cable cover. There you go. Now you can remove the keyboard cable cover out of place, where the left and right antennas are ran to, which should be the Wi-Fi card located on the main system board. So now you can just disconnect those two wires. At this point, what you're going to need to do is close back up your Toughbook, like so. Then at this point you can remove the bumpers from the outside of the rear cabinet. It's going to take a little bit of pressure to remove these. Now if you notice, the wires are running from the system board all the way up to the antenna boards up here, and here. They're held down with tape that runs along a groove. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to remove the tape. I recommend not being too rough with the tape. Of course, you want to be able to replace it after inserting the new antennas. So I'm just going to gently use a screwdriver to pry this up. Apply a little bit of force, but be careful not to damage the tape. And we'll just place that to the side for now. Now we're going to remove this tape. Next, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to remove the board covers at the top of the 30. So you just lift it up like this. Use a small Phillips head screwdriver to remove the screws at the top. Screw. There goes the third screw. I think there goes the fourth screw. And at that point, you can just lift the board covers out of place. Now there are going to be 2 screws holding the actual boards in place. So what you need to do is you need to get the small Phillips head screwdriver, the same one you just used, and remove those screws as well. But there you go. Once you removed all the screws, you can now remove the antennas. So all the screws have been removed. We're just going to go ahead and remove these antennas. We're just going to lift it up along the groove. And there goes the black wire located on the side where the single pass-through is located. Place that to the side. Seems as though the yellow, excuse me, the white wire has a bit of extra tape on top holding it in place. We're going to remove that tape and set it aside. And then we're going to remove the white antenna cable, which is held down by another piece of tape underneath. Most likely your Toughbook will have that tape as well. And there you have it. You have just removed both the left and right antenna on your Panasonic Toughbook CF-30. Stay tuned in for part 2 as we replace these antennas with new antennas. Thank you once again for tuning in.
Thanks for watching today. For more repair videos, click the link below. And remember, if you have a screwdriver, you can fix a computer.